Welcome back to our Big Trip 2024.
So after a very good night's sleep at Coldstone Cut, cassette day came around a little earlier than expected, so we had to squeeze in a campsite day.
So we headed north.
On the way we stopped for lunch at Middleham Castle.
There isn't any car park for the castle, there's only roadside parking in the village. We parked in the main village square, which definitely wasn't level. You remember that, don't you?
I do remember that, yeah, you were quite put out by not being level enough.
Well, my cup of tea was going that way.
Still goes down that way though. Middleham Castle was built in 1190 to defend the road from Richmond to Skipton. It's known for being the childhood home of Richard III.
Ooh, that looks like a fireplace or a latrine.
Huh?
Are we in a latrine or a fireplace?
No, that's strange.
There's a pigeon up there. Whoa! Definitely a hobbit hole.
I think this area was the cellar of the keep.
It had many extensions and modifications over its 500-year history, but it was left to fall to ruin in the 17th century. Stones from the castle can be found in many of the local buildings.
Middleham Castle is probably one of the largest castle ruins I've ever visited. There were lots of really interesting areas and places to explore.
The lower sections of the remains have crumbled away, but the upper sections are still in quite good condition.
It's quite a contrast. It really surprised me because, I don't know, it just really helped me imagine what it would look like in its day.
We travelled a further 26 miles towards our campsite and had just enough time to stop at Barnard Castle.
It's a bit rainy, but this is Barnard Castle, and I can't get my posh camera out because it's rainy. And it all looks a bit bleak. And Dave's the only one wearing shorts.
Barnard Castle is another large site, but it had much more open space between the ruins.
Sit on all their crap in there, and then the people upstairs could crap down the bit behind as well, but it didn't fall directly on your head, it felt just back there a bit. But that whole area there would have been cess.
Double-decker toilet then?
Yeah.
Wow, do you fancy that?
It was thinking here. Do you know why they called it garderobe?
No.
Keep their clothes in here.
With all the poop?
Well, it wasn't the poop particularly, it was the pee, because the ammonia coming off the pee kept the moths and things away from the clothes.
Oh.
And gave them a nice sort of floral bouquet.
Wow, I didn't know that. Aren't you just Wiki Dave? Just need the sun to come out, then it'll be perfect. But it is quite late in the day today.
It was built around 1093 to control the crossing over the River Tees. The present ruins are mostly 12th and 13th century.
It's actually a really big site. There's so many interesting features. I imagine it would be heaving on a hot day, but today it's just a couple of people and us.
We travelled onwards another 5 miles to our campsite.
We had to pull over at Cotherstone to mark the van passing the 10,000 mile mark.
How many of those were ours?
Just over 2,000.
So we're at Doe Park Caravan site, which is about 4 miles north of Barnard Castle, and this is only a small section of it. Oh gosh, excuse my cable, I'm charging. Yeah, this is just a small section of it, and it's quite large, and it's got normal facilities for a campsite. I just made the worst ever motorhome dinner in the world. It was some disgusting rice with some beef sizzlers from the Co-op or Morrison's, I can't remember which, and they were tough as shoe leathers. And not only that, but we now have the mother of all frying pans to clean. Oh my god, I am just about ready to drop.
And to top it off,
Bumpy little roads, haven't we? Right, I'll clear that up.
After a good night's sleep, it was time to hit the road.
we had planned to drive 15 miles to Stanhope for supplies, but someone became a bit distracted.
Ah! Hey! Hello! Hey, two of them.
Dave's making friends with the sheep.
All three of them.
All three sheep. Well, they're going to come and see you now. That would be brilliant. Give them a little cuddle.
That's enough socialising for one day. These roads passed through some spectacular scenery, and passing through Bollihope Burn we had to pull over to explore.
We don't have such rugged or sweeping views near us, so this was a really lovely sight to see. I think that's one of the lovely things about being in the van. You can stop and have a cuppa, unscheduled stop, doesn't matter, you can just explore wherever you want to go. Well, within reason, obviously. There's our little van.
Well, I don't know how we're supposed to get around here. I'll absolutely laugh so much when he falls in.
I was looking for signs of life in the burn, and the stones were very inviting. Turns out they were also very slippery.
Oh, God.
That's too good to only watch once. So graceful. Was the water cold?
It was damn freezing. I was just glad I didn't land on my face, to be honest.
You didn't get out of the river after your feet were soaked.
I hadn't found the fishies.
Did you find any at all?
No, but my feet were already wet, so I thought I might as well carry on looking for fishies.
Well, I kept on filming just in case you fell in again.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Have you got some nice warm socks on your feet?
I have got some lovely warm socks on my feet, yes, thank you. Thank you for your concern and giggles.
You knew it was going to happen though, didn't you?
No, I did not. No. If you imagine for one moment that I would have walked out on those stones if I'd known I was going to fall off into the stream, then you are very much mistaken. I would not.
You thought you were going to be stepping stone
I
man.
thought I was going to dance across them like a billy goat. And instead I swam through them like a dead salmon.
Oh, brilliant.
And now, well, I was going to say cold wet feet, but they're not wet anymore, they're just cold. I've got my walking socks on then, I saw.
Yeah, I need to...
Are my shoes dry yet?
I doubt it.
It's behind you.
I know, but... I'd say they're still quite wet. And so we headed off to our campsite.
We are on a Springfield campsite. It's not really a campsite, it's got lodges as well. It's in the middle of nowhere in Slaley in Northumberland, just south of Hexham. And we're quite near a play area, but not too noisy. There's David. He's starting to get into the holiday spirit after 1 week away. And yeah, it's quite pleasant.
But everyone says you start off at the Sill.
Where's the Sill?
Sill is 9. 9 is there. That's Hexham.
Yep.
That's the Sill there.
All right.
And I think the LPG is around that one.
So we're at the campsite tonight and the plan was to have a housekeeping day. So we arrived and we put some laundry on straight away. And Dave has been cleaning the bathroom. And the carpet from last week is now dry. So we've put that back in place. And the messy shoes on the floor. How many days ago was the carpet?
5 days.
5 days for the carpet.
I think it was dry yesterday actually.
Yeah. And the shoes on the floor are because of the water incident today. But we've got a
Faulty rocks in that stream.
sparkling clean van.
Sparkling clean.
And it was quite messy actually for a week's worth of mess.
That'll be you making a mess.
Well, we try and tidy up every day. It's just like you get little splatters, don't you?
Little splatters.
Well, I think that's worked out quite well. So we've got just enough time. Got about half an hour before the washing machine finishes.
Dribble down the front of that drawer there, but never mind.
He's so domesticated. Look at him, just getting all the laundry in.
That's not really dry.
He can be hanged up. So after tea, with the chores all done,
We wandered off to explore the woodlands all around the campsite.
Don't know where he's going. Going on an adventure. He's going on an adventure. Oh, I can't get down there. Gosh, that's quite steep. There's lots of prickles. And in the undergrowth comes emerging the rare species That is Dave. Oh dear. You're a bit mad, aren't you? Where did you go?
There's a path. It's clearly a path, and it's overgrown, but not enough that you can't get through, but overgrown enough that it feels like a lost path into an undiscovered world.
Oh.
And it goes on and on and on. Like it used to be a really well-used path, but it's been abandoned for a year, and it's starting to overgrow. And you can still follow it. Very clear path.
I couldn't follow it. That was a bit steep for me.
I reckon it's used for grand gatherings of deer.
A little bit dark now, but we found this little avenue back to the caravan park. And down here is a fairy mushroom. What are they called, Dave?
I think you mean psychedelic mushroom. That's a fly agaric.
So we're just leaving the Springhouse boutique holiday park. As you can see, there's lots of static, so I don't want to get the kids in. As you can see, there's lots of static vans, and there's a few spaces for touring vans. It's a one-way system around the site. Dave is just emptying the chemical toilet, even though we emptied it yesterday. And we're hoping to have 2 days off-grid and the third day on a campsite, depending on the chemical toilet, because that is the limiting factor here. The facilities here were pretty good, and there were 3 showers and 2 toilets for the tourers to use. I think all the cabins are self-contained. They had 2 washers and 2 dryers for laundry, and they were quite full yesterday. We were lucky to get a spot. And then, what else about this campsite can I think of? Yeah, it was very quiet. There were lots of animal noises and bird noises, and there's lots of bunny rabbits running around as well. So, all good. And today we are off to Hadrians Wall, and it's a bit drizzly, so we might get a bit wet. So we'll see how that goes. So we've arrived at the Sill, but the weather is going to be changeable, and I reckon there's a weather front coming over in a minute.
There's a weather front just coming across here, and it's due to be heavy rain for about 3 hours.
So what we're going to do is go and get some diesel.
Go to Aston, do a bit of shopping.
Yeah, do a bit of shopping, and then we're going to go to Corbridge and the museum, and hopefully we can do the walk tomorrow.
Yeah, the weather should be a lot better tomorrow. A few showers, but a lot better. And then there's an LPG station on the way to Brampton, just west of here.
Cool. Super. We've been in traffic for about 5-10 minutes now. We've travelled about half a mile.
Yeah.
It's nice when you're not in any hurry.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother you or irritate you as much, does it?
No. So we filled up with diesel and AdBlue, and then headed into Corbridge to start our Hadrians Wall adventure.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night